I'm speaking to Reverend Heber Brown at a Jewish Voice for Peace meeting. We'll talk about the Israeli-Jewish issues at the end, but at the end of his talk, he talked about a case which he said was Baltimore's Michael Brown case. Unfortunately, I never heard anything about it, so I wanted to ask you, could you explain?
Absolutely. In July 2013, a man named Tyrone West was pulled over while driving in northeast Baltimore. 11 to 15 officers arrived at what was supposed to be a regular traffic stop, but ended up being the murder of Tyrone West. 11 to 15 officers, the report goes, beat and harassed Tyrone West to death. And the family of Tyrone West, led by his mother and family members, including his sister, Tawanda Jones, have been going around the city on a weekly basis. Every Wednesday, they call it West Wednesday, to go and to raise awareness about what happened to their brother. They've still not received a full autopsy report, and here we are in 2015. They still not received a full autopsy report of what happened to their relative, and also those who are responsible for the death of Tyrone West have not been brought to justice. In fact, many of them have moved on to other departments and other law enforcement agencies without being held accountable.
Did he pull a gun? Did he shoot the policeman?
Tyrone West was unarmed. He had no gun. He had no weapons. He was being pulled over, what they said was a regular traffic stop, and pulled him out of his car by his dreadlocks and beat him on a populated residential intersection. People took video and cell phone video of the beating, and many of those cell phones and videos were confiscated and have not seen the light of day. And so this, as you said in the intro, this was one of Baltimore's Michael Brown, quote unquote, experiences right here that the nation doesn't know about, but the name Tyrone West means something here in this city.
Devil's advocate, what did the police say? That they needed 15 or 11 people to pummel him? What terrible thing did they say he did?
The police say that he was resisting arrest, and of course, it's that whole trope that they throw out about officers being in fear for their life. This was unmarked car. These were not officers in uniform. And so, but the police say he was resisting arrest, and that's why they had the degree of force that they had for this one man. 11 to 15 officers on one man.
Was there a grand jury that was called?
No, the city found that the officers, while they made some mistakes, they said that the officers were not responsible for the murder of Tyrone West. The family has, of course, have a lawsuit out on the police office, on the police department and other systems in the city. We're still waiting to see the results of that. But the family continues, nevertheless, to change legislation, change policy through legislation to address police accountability and police transparency here in the city, not just for their family, but for all families in the city that are going through this.
Just to segue for a minute into the reason you actually came to the Jewish Voice for Peace, you had gone on an interfaith peace builders mission, and you were kind of treated badly. If you could just sort of reprise that.
Absolutely. After 2 days of travel to get to Ben Gurion Airport, we landed, and within 5 minutes of me landing, I was surrounded by Israeli Defense Forces with high-powered rifles pointed in my direction, and they interrogated me and cornered me. I was the only I was the only black man in my delegation with IFPB, and they allowed my whole delegation to walk past in the airport, but they looked at me and immediately mobilized to corner me and interrogate me. And that was just the first of many experiences that as we went throughout our trip with Interfaith Peace Builders, every checkpoint I was the one singled out. Every time that, we had to go from the occupied West Bank into Jerusalem or what have you, I was the one who was always asked to show passport, show information, and was questioned by soldiers. My experience is not unique. As I mentioned in my comments tonight, Heber Brown, who is a wonderful advocate with a number of issues here in the city based out of New York, and also Michael Twitty, an African-American who converted to Judaism as well, had the same experience. This is a widespread, it's not just individuals, it's a widespread systemic issue. It's a pattern of harassment that people of color, and particularly black people, are experiencing when they go there.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.